78.6 FM Yoma Time, positive vibes with Winsome. It is Saturday, a beautiful day outside today. But allow me to reintroduce myself. And let me say that again. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Man, father, brother, son, friend, airman, journalist, radio show host, motivational speaker, resiliency coach, teacher, best friend, cousin. I mean, the list goes on, but let me tell you the secret behind all of those things I just listed off. I'm not just one of those. I'm all of those every day. Notice the order. I didn't sit here and say that my job was first or what I do was first. And what I've been telling my friends for this entire month so far is you define you. And in order to define yourself, in order to be able to say you are who you say you are, you have to identify exactly who you are. You see, the key is you have to know yourself. You have to know who you are before you can say, I am. When you wake up in the morning, you start looking in the mirror and looking at yourself up and down and sizing yourself up, getting ready for your day. Who do you see? What do you see? I asked a question to one of my groups this week. I said, hey, before you're kind to everybody else, are you kind to yourself? 78.6 FM Yoma Time, positive vibes of Winsome. I'm so happy to be back. There's so much going on, so many things to talk about. Trying to save some because we got so many different forums happening right now. But even that alone is exciting. This month, we're talking to Dr. Shabazz, U.S. Marine Corps chaplain, talking to us about fighting back, right? About fighting back, not being defined by what happened to you, but allowing that to create who you are and becoming stronger from it. I saw a show last night or a movie, whatever you want to call it, that says the pain. That's why it was Black Widow, right? Pain makes you stronger. It sounds generic and routine, but it was really legit. It was kind of cool. The pain, because it speaks to what me and Dr. Shabazz are going to talk to you about soon, right? On positivevibesradioshow.com with Dr. Shabazz. Another speaker we have that's awesome. I'm so excited about it. Get to talk to him again. The first time we talked, his mic kept dropping because he's way out in Cardiff, right? Way out in Cardiff. Will Brooks, graphic artist for Doctor Who's and the British Broadcasting Corporation. He's going to give us some time to talk to us about exactly that, man, taking those leaps of faith. So we got some great people coming up to talk to you guys about exactly what we speak to every Saturday on this show. Defining yourself. Remembering who you are. So many different things happen throughout the week that kind of knocks you off. Let me tell you something, man. It was crazy today. I'll tell you my plan. I was going to do something different. I always say when I wake up on Saturday before the show, I want to do something different, kind of drive me into the show, kind of put my mind into, whatever mindset I need to be ready for positive vibes. I want to do something positive before the show starts, right? So I go to the BX and I walk out and it's thunderstorming. Like, I wouldn't say thunderstorm. I won't exaggerate. It's pouring. Right now, when I walked outside from my apartment this morning, it was beautiful. The sun was out. It was hot. I mean, the sun woke me up this morning, right? Like, get up. Let's cook you a little bit. And I get out. It's blue skies, sun. It is the summer in Okinawa. Now, I walk in the BX, right? And I come out. It's pouring rain. Now, I'm not talking about like a sprinkle because one cloud's going over. I'm talking about pouring rain. So I said, okay. I'm not prepared. It kind of just deflates any plan you had in your head. And I'm telling you, I had some really cool ones. But it kind of deflates it because, okay, I wasn't prepared for this. And I got two options, right? I can step outside and just run to my car. Or I can wait for it to pass and just sit here watching the rain, right? I don't care what happens next. However long this takes, I'm just going to wait it out. Those are my two options. And I want you to hear what I just told you. You can check the weather in Japan. What's today's date? Today is Saturday, 10 July 2021. There's a flash rain here in Okinawa while I was at the BX this morning. Because, people think you just come up with these stories. No, bro, this stuff really happens. You can't make this stuff up. I'm tell you what my brain went when I saw this. I had two options. I could either wait for it to pass, just sit back and see what happens, or I can take control and go to my car. What do you think I did if you know me? Exactly. I left that BX, ran in my car, and moved on with the rest of my day. And by the time I got back to my apartment or even this side of town, the rain had passed. But let me tell you something, that's a 25-minute drive. So I would have been standing there in the BX waiting for the rain to pass for 25 minutes. What if it was longer? What if I could have been doing something else in that 25 minutes? Understand what I'm telling you right now. Life is about choices, and sometimes life hits you and things happen in ways that you can't control or you don't expect. But you got to focus on the things that you can control. And the cool thing was, I can control getting in my car and still getting on with my day, moving forward, which is everything I talked to you about last month, right? Moving forward. Keep moving. So, or I could have stayed inside of the BX doors, the glass shielded doors, and said, hey, I'm just going to wait and see what happens, right? I know what I can control. I identified all these things already in my mind, but I'm just going to wait because I'm a wait and see kind of guy. No, don't be a wait and see kind of guy or girl, because the wait and see kind of guy or girl has no control of their life. If you can't take those moments, those little moments by the reins and say, this is mine, those big moments are going to come by and you're going to do the same exact thing. Wait and see. That's where the pain comes from. So the pain lasts longer than it needs to. That's where the pain turns into anxiety. Anxiety turns into depression. I mean, you name it, you list it. This is because you refuse to take control of those little things in your life that you have control over. It's facts. Allow me to reintroduce myself. 78.6 FM, Yomaton. This is Positive Vibes with Winsome. So when I stood there and I got to my car and moved in, got over here and the rain had passed, I was so excited because that meant I can do something more with my day. That meant that time didn't just get wasted. I had time to do, and your time is so precious. The funny thing is that, well, you hear this all the time. That's one of those things you can't get back is your time. So I had a friend of mine, another one of our therapist friends that comes and visits the show or on one of the online forums. He said, look, here's a circle. Bam, draw a circle. And within that circle, I want you to put everything that's within your control. Outside of that circle, I want you to put everything that's not within your control. When you finished, look at the circle. Pay attention to the circle. Because if you're paying attention to everything outside of it, that is all the things that is throwing you all throughout your day, throwing you off, getting distracted, losing focus, going backwards when you should go forwards. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Winsome. I'm not defined by my job. I'm not defined by the things I do on the side. I'm defined by who I am. And you know what's beautiful about that is I know who I am. I've come to terms with the pros and the cons of me. I am my own worst enemy, and I am my best friend. Let me tell you that again. I am my own worst enemy, worst critic, worst whatever you want to call it. And I'm also my own best friend. You hear me? So these things I wear in my head. If you notice, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I always got the cap on and I always got my headphones on, right? My life is a soundtrack. Everywhere I go, I'm listening to something motivational because whenever that song pops back on in the future, I'm remembering that moment or moments. And I'm capturing it in my mind and with that song. You see, I understand the power of music as well. I understand what makes music so special because I wanted to understand why those certain songs make you happy, why those certain songs make you sad. But don't let me get too far off track. Let me stay focused. The reason why I wear the cap is because the last couple of times I got to spend some real time with my children. I would wear this cap coming home from the gym, and they thought I was so cool because I'm walking in shiny with the muscles and the cap on, and my son would look at me with the eyes like I was a superhero, right, with this thing on my head. And I noticed that when I was separated from them, and COVID extended that separation, that I kept this cap, not because I thought I looked cool, but because it reminded me of that look in their eyes when they would see me wearing it. So everywhere I go, when I have this on, I feel like even when I can't, I'm bringing them with me. You see, people didn't understand that. They just thought it was my thing, like a trademark. No, there's always a reason. There's always a method to the madness. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Winsome. So when I wear the cap and I got the headphones on, my life is a soundtrack. I listen to the motivational things, which is normally fearless motivation or fearless soul. I'm rocking that and I'm vibing. Yeah, I take the headphones off to listen to the waves, listen to the wind blow. I take the time to allow those things to process through my mind as well. Smell the air. Whew, feel the sun hit my skin, right? I can't wear the headphones and the cap when I'm out kayaking or swimming, so I got to take in the views with this on. This is how I do me. And I stopped wearing it. Before my 1 year anniversary here on the station, I stopped wearing this because I said, well, people might think it looks funny. Someone might question, maybe it's not what looks like a radio show host. But you know what I forgot before my 1 year anniversary here on the station is this cap is what made me unique. This cap is what makes me me. It's part of my DNA. This cap, these headphones, this look, this voice, this is who I am. So when I had to reintroduce myself, remember who I was, that was part of the process. And it wasn't me sitting outside in the rain today or waiting for the rain to pass. It was me taking that whole situation and taking my life and saying, this is what I'm doing next. So let me ask you a question. How I started this was with the story. Are you letting the rain pass, waiting for it to pass, or are you taking that moment and saying, I'm getting to my car and I'm moving, or I'm getting out there and I'm facing this, I'm weathering this, I'm going to where I need to be. This is not going to stop me. This storm in my life right now is not going to stop me. I'm stronger than this storm. Yeah, this storm outside is frustrating, but that storm inside me is so much stronger. That fire in me is putting all this out. I'm still moving. Is that you? And if you don't know, when I asked the question a little bit ago, I'm going to ask you the question again. When you look in the mirror, what do you see and who are you looking at? And if you didn't realize how important that is, every time you wake up in the morning, look at yourself. Be kind to yourself. Remember the things that make you, you, right? Remember the things that have gotten you this far. There's so many people that when things happen, they forget how strong they've been to be where they're at today. And again, you define you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Winsome. Father, brother, son, friend, radio show host, motivational speaker, lecturer. Come on, man. I can keep going on and on because all those things are parts of me. These are little pieces that make me the person I am, but they don't define me. Not one of them. It's all of them. And all of it is what makes you you. So you do the same thing. Look at yourself in the mirror and figure out who you are if you haven't done it to this point. Because right now, if your job drives you and defines you, you're failing. If your relationship drives you and defines you, you're failing. If your friendship drives you and defines you, you're failing. If a failure defines you, you're failing. Pick yourself back up. 78.6 FM Yomaton. You define you. When we come back, we're going to listen to a song from Fearless Motivation. I introduced it and played. It's a little bit something different. You may not be able to hear it if you're listening on YouTube, but of course on the site and on Facebook, you should hear it with no problem. We'll be right back right after this messages. 78.6 FM Yomaton. Positive Vibes with Winsome. 78.6 FM, Yoma Time, Positive Vibes Radio Show with Winsome. Hey, check this out. We've had a written and explicit permission, which is a blessing in itself, to play music. And I'm able to speak over music and play music from Team Fearless, Fearless Motivation, and Fearless Soul. The song I'm about to play for you is called Reinvent Yourself. And I think when we're talking about defining you and defining yourself, this song is very targeted. And I want you to hear it, and I want to share it with you. So check it out. This is Reinvent Yourself from Fearless Motivation. My favorite part about that is when they start going into, and again, that's Fearless Motivation, Fearless Soul, Team Fearless, with written and explicit permission to play that. It's called Reinvent Yourself. My favorite part about that is when it starts getting hype at the end. He's like, it is up to me. It is up to me. It is up to me. Yes. You talk about being the best version of yourself, waking up and understanding that whoever you were yesterday, you're not bound to be that person. What you did before today doesn't matter. I love when people try to drag me back to 15, 20 years ago, who I was, because guess what? I shed that skin a long time ago. You can't hold me to it. because the person I am today has been light years away from who that individual was. And not to say he was bad, he just wasn't ready for the things I'm ready and doing now. From the lessons I've learned since, from the people I've been and blessed and helped and been blessed by since. I mean, listen to me, family and friends. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. You define you. And if you're in a bad place right now, if you're struggling with something, just like they said a few minutes ago, if you're going through something, this is the lowest point you have to allow yourself to go, because you can grow tomorrow. You can fight now. People could thinking because things are bad that it's going to stay bad. And I had a couple of examples that I was paying attention to recently, and I didn't even know. Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry. You start talking about people who were homeless, fighting for a dream, a vision, and said, I'm going to reinvent myself. Listen to me. If a homeless person with no money, no life, I can't say no life, no future, no money, nothing in sight that they can touch and tangibly say is theirs, can reinvent themselves and fight to be one of the richest, most, and when I say richest, I mean monetarily, maybe not spiritually or mentally, but one of the most successful. And again, success is another thing that you can measure in different ways, but to be in their purpose, to be where they wanted to be, the vision that they had for themselves, and to beat all the odds. If those folks can do it because they were hungry, because they were starving, not just for food, but for life and for movement. And they fought with everything they had. And those are just two examples of stories I've read recently of people that came from nothing. Now, I'm a little different. And folks listening in, right? 78.6 FM Yomata. I'm a little different. I don't celebrate rappers. Let's put it out there real quick. I respect the hustle. I respect anybody's grind. But anybody whose story is about putting families or people through pain to succeed and step on the backs of those individuals to get to where they're at because their album is blazing, and talking about the pain they're still constantly putting people through, that doesn't, I guess, sit with me. I don't celebrate that. I don't get hyped to it. I can't. I don't tell my kids this is a jam song to listen to. No, those aren't people who were hungry in the way I'm talking about. I'm not talking about somebody who had a gift to rap, got in there selling drugs and doing their thing, and now they $1 million. No, that is not what I'm telling you about. I'm telling you about the person who started with a pen and a paper, sitting on the street with nothing, looking for the next meal. And someone gave them a chance. Someone actually looked at that paper that they were writing on, or a napkin or whatever they had in their hand, and said, let me see that. Let me tell you something, young man or young lady, I'm going to give you a chance. That angel that came up and said, I see your heart. I see what you want to do, so I'm going to give you a shot. And all you got to do is work for it. Listen to me. Those are the hungry, starving people I'm talking about. Now, you can glorify and celebrate whoever you want to. That's you. But I'm talking about those people who had nothing and kept wonderful, beautiful hearts in faith that there's going to be more. There's got to be more. And I'm going to fight for it every day I wake up until I pass out. I'm going to fight for more. I told a friend today, he called me. He was like, yo, we got to do this. We got to do that. I said, listen, man, I just clicked the button for retirement from the day job. Anything I do and anywhere I go from this point on has to be connected somehow to what I'm trying to do next. Because I'm hungry. And my mindset right now is I'm hungry. I'm homeless. I don't have anything. That's my mindset. I'm fighting for what's next. I'm not settling for what I already have or what I'm already doing. No, I'm fighting for the next chapter right now. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Father, friend, airman, about to be retiree. And you know, the one thing I've never mentioned, someone with a kind heart, genuine, friendly, open, heart on the sleeve. Those are attributes that I didn't mention because I'm talking about who I am. But if you put it all together, that's why I'm here. See, I'm here to spot you. I have a friend right now who we just started up our personal training certification. She starts a month after me. I started early. So we're getting back in the game, right? Thinking about when I used to be real super duper fit, and now I'm feeling like my age a little bit, but I'm catching back up, right? I got to reset. My focus changed. My goals have changed. My hunger's changed. My goals have changed. The goals I had yesterday don't have to be the goals I have today, but I'm here to spot you. So if you tell me you're trying to do something, if you're one of my friends and you're one of these types of friends that your friend tells you they have a goal, they have a vision, you spot them. You tell them, hey, man, where do you need me to help you lift anything? What do you need so I can take some of these bricks out of your backpack? That's who you can be for your friends. And I'm going to talk about a different way that we're spotting you in the next segment. But let me tell you something. It's powerful when you have people that you connect with. I had another teammate who just taught a class. I was excited to see people stepping out and doing something big, something bigger than they used to, better than they did before. That excites me. That makes me happy to see someone succeeding that has a vision and making that vision come true. You see, that makes me happy. Not about what I have or do or what success. No, when other people are thriving, good people, hungry people are thriving, that makes me happy. That warms my heart. Because, there's little things that mean a lot to other people. And if I can help someone reach those goals, those dreams, those visions, then I'm doing what I was meant to do. I'm fulfilling my purpose. See, I'm a people person. I'm a helper. That's me. When I need to be, I'm a leader. I'm a motivator. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. You see, but I know my purpose is to take care of people. Sometimes to a detriment. See, that balance was off where I was taking more care of others than I was taking care of myself for a long time. And you know how powerful it is to take your power back and realize that you got to find, and I mention balance sometimes, but what I'm trying to say is know where to place my energy. 78.6 FM. We'll be right back after these messages. .6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes Radio Show with Winsome. Glad to be back, man, for our final segment, which is always dedicated to the Air Force Wounded Warriors Wellness and Resiliency Team. I love that family, that group, the topics. We're talking about random acts of kindness. Was one of the great topics that came up this week, and I'm so excited to talk about these things with them each month. I'm sure we'll do a wrap-up. We got one coming up. We're a little late on the monthly wrap-up for PTSD, but it's going to happen, right? It's coming up soon. Before I jump into kindness and what we're talking about on that side of the house, kind of rose into it. One of the posts that I dropped on Facebook excuse me, on Facebook recently, one of the posts that I dropped is literally saying this, man. Stop telling people they'll bounce back. And I want to talk about that because I know people read that and like, what's he trying to say? All right, so I'm going to spell that out a little bit more for you right now. I'm here to spot you, right? And when I say spot you, I am a resiliency coach. So when I'm saying I'm here to spot you, I'm talking about mentally. I'm here to spot you. I'm talking about physically. That's why I'm getting my new certification. I'm here to spot you. I'm talking about physically, right? I'm talking about spiritually. I'm here to spot you. Socially. That's why I'm on Facebook. Just now got the new Instagram account, the website. Right here we're doing YouTube. Socially, I'm here to spot you. And I'm genuine. And I speak from the heart. I don't sit here and go on Google and figure out what somebody else's take is on anything. I talk to you straight from the heart. And I'm going to share something with you because I shared this with my friends on Facebook. And I get annoyed, and I do, when I hear people generically say, and let me add that, when I hear people say generically, you'll bounce back from this. When I say I'm here to spot you, I don't say, hey, man, don't worry about it, bro. You'll bounce back from that. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, girl. You'll bounce back from that. That's not spotting someone in those 4 areas I just told you about. Spotting someone sounds more like this. My friend, you'll get through this. I know it hurts right now, but when you navigate through this pain, you're going to have one heck of a story to tell. A story about beating the odds. A story about maintaining the highest level of character despite whatever adversity or obstacle you're facing right now. An amazing story about standing tall when most people would buckle and fall. You see, my friend, it's okay to cry. Those tears mean something. They mean your heart is still beating even if it's broken right now. And guess what? You're still here. You're still standing. And if you can look up, you can get up, as Les says. You see, when it's all said and done, you don't want to tell anyone to bounce back from where they started because guess what? They're going back to the starting point. You want to tell somebody they can navigate the pain. They're going to get through this obstacle, over, under, around. They're going to learn the lessons. They're going to apply the lessons, and they're going to come back stronger than before. And let me tell you something. If you're going through pains right now or dealing with something, stop comparing your story to others. You see, most people around you, they're keeping their secrets, their stories private. And they're also having private battles that you'll never know anything about. So like I've always told you, if you listen to this show, focus on your story. Focus on your finish line. If you see somebody going through something, instead of being generic and telling them, hey, buddy, you'll bounce back from this. You got this, high-fiving. Meet them where they're at. Be the change. Be that friend that you wish you had when you were going through something. If you're struggling with something, just know you can do this. You will get through this. And no matter where I'm at in the world, you are never alone. 78.6 FM Yomatan, positive vibes with Winsome. When I wrote that, I was looking at the story that Sha'Carri Richardson was going through. If I'm saying her name right, let me make sure I don't butcher that poor girl's name, because you know that's what I do on a daily basis. The Olympian who lost her opportunity to run in the Olympics because she decided to do what a lot of people do in the United States, and it caught up with her. I'm not getting caught up in the backstory of her mother passing away. I'm not getting caught up in the backstory of what pain she was going through or if she knew when she took accountability. I'm not dealing with that. I'm dealing with the fact that another human being on one of the highest visible platforms in the world. If you are comparing your story to hers, can I tell you something? Tell yourself to shut up. This young lady was competing on the highest stage in the world. Not just your country, not just the country next door, the world. So to fail at that level and to fall at that level is painful. That's a different kind of pain that 99% of you will never feel. So stop comparing yourself to what she's dealt with. The only thing you can compare yourself with is probably what she got in trouble for and failure. Stop comparing your story to hers. It's a different kind of pain. And you're not adding in all the other extras, and I'm not making excuses for it. But I'm telling you, when you're spotting somebody, stop comparing pain. Pain is pain. Period, point blank. Be there for someone. Stop. And someone said a lot. I saw a post. I scroll through Facebook when I'm bored after I've got through what I need to do for the day, right? Saw somebody saying, well, people always got stories after the self-inflicted situation, self-inflicted pain. It doesn't matter how the pain's inflicted. Nobody deserves to be alone going through any obstacle. If someone can be there, then be there. Because we've all learned lessons. We've all made mistakes. We've all gone through pain. We've all wished that somebody was there to take some of the pain away. So I tell you this, 78.6 FM Youngstown, Positive Vibes with Winston. I know this is more of my tough love segment that I do offline, right? But I'm doing it because this is why I'm here. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Now you know who I am, what I'm doing, and why this is so important to me. You are important. Every one of you is unique. Every one of your situations, your stories, whether it be private or public, is yours. Be the change. Be the difference. Be the friend. Be the mentor. Be the wingman, as we call it in my day job. Be the teammate. Be the family member that someone needs right now. Because I tell you, I've gone through things. If you've listened in the last year, you've heard me. I've gone through things that I wish someone was there to spot me. And I've gotten through those stories, and a lot of times by myself, not always because people didn't want to be there, but because people didn't know how to be there. Listen to me when I tell you this. It's not because people didn't want to be there. It's because they didn't know how to be there. So when I noticed that, what do you think I did? I reinvented myself after it was all over. And I chose to be there for other people that are going through any kind of pain and try to understand the different dynamics, the different ways to be, the word we like to use, resilient. How to fight back, how to spot someone mentally, how to spot someone physically, how to spot someone socially, how to spot someone spiritually. And when I couldn't do it or didn't know enough about it, I went to the experts. You've heard them on the show. You've seen me on Facebook and on our interviews. I don't know everything. But guess what I'm great at? Learning, listening, understanding, so that I can help someone the next time. So if you're not doing those things and you're listening to this show, play this back. Hopefully something sticks. And I throw a lot at people. I just throw it out there right at the wall and see what sticks. But I'm doing that because I'm in my purpose right now. Let me tell you something. 78.6 FM Youngstown. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Father, brother, son, resiliency coach, host, lecturer. I can keep going. Kind person, friend, best friend. Everything that I know about myself, I do this because I want you to do the same for you. Know yourself. And if you're struggling with trying to figure out who you are, or if you don't know who you are, that's the first battle that you have to conquer. That's the first fight you need to take up next. Trying to find a post from a dear friend of mine, Chief Master Sergeant Williston, who is now, I believe, in England or USAFE, wherever she's at over there. Because her words kind of stuck with me. And I love putting stuff out there on Facebook because some of the things I get back, even after all these years, I'm not ready for it. And it was one of those statements that she heard that she shared with me. And so I put out there, of course, I'm retiring next year. And I said, Chief, I gave these guys everything I got, and I won't stop until it's my finish line, just like I promised. Heart on my sleeve. She says, I know you will. She said, I read something the other day that says your purpose sometimes is greater than the box that we've lived in before. I believe that 1,000% about you. Congratulations on your walk into your purpose. You see, because my day job has had me for 23 years. Let me say that again. My day job has had me for 23 years. But the entire time I was trying to figure me out, there was a moment where it all clicked. This isn't who I am. This is what I do. And when that happened, of course, all those other life circumstances kind of forced it on me to take a look and reevaluate. It happened, and it was beautiful. And I've been chasing it ever since. And there's been little people along the way. I said little people, little situations and people along the way that have helped me get the vision clear, to have clarity, to understand what I wanted to do next, to truly put it all together and have it to where I can actually make action steps or take action steps toward it. So when I say this, Misty Williston, thank you so much for that. Because you're absolutely right. Sometimes your purpose is greater than the box that you've been living in. And not to say my day job was a bad box. It was just a box. It keeps you from flapping your wings. It keeps you from being that balloon that I told you about that's tied down to something. But when you untie it, it goes, right? The story I told you from Fearless Motivation. Listen to me. When you find what you're supposed to be doing, fight for it. When you know in your heart that it feels right, it is right, and it fits you, fight for it. When everything around you is directing you in that lane and that opportunity is there, fight for it. When you know that you are defined by you and you appreciate the gifts that you have, when it doesn't matter what people say about you, when it doesn't matter what people tell you to do or recommend you do, when people's opinions don't matter anymore, where the haters can't distract you, where the naysayers can't knock you off course, when the obstacles are simply just that, obstacles that you learn to get over, under, or around. You see, when you have that together, guess what happens, my friend? You're moving on purpose and with your purpose. You get it. When your finish line is in front of you, you see it. When you climb that mountain and now you're looking for a different one. And now you understand, on my page, I got 2 pictures. And if you're just seeing this, I'm going to put them together for you. On my Facebook page is one picture of me sitting on the top of the rocks that I had to climb up to get to. On the actual website, you'll see me climbing those rocks. You put the 2 together, I had to climb to get there and reflect on the journey. You ain't hear me, right? I had to climb to get a chance to sit and reflect on the journey I just got through. But I didn't stop there. I'm still moving. I made that first climb. Now I'm looking for a different mountain to climb. You see, not everybody's doing that. They're comfortable. They stop. They get stuck. There's no vision anymore. They think that's what they're supposed to be, even if everything around them in their life is telling them different. The anxiety is driving them insane because they know they are more than this. Chase it. Trust yourself. Love yourself. Believe in being the best version of yourself. You're loved. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next week. Positive vibes.